So, good morning. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Black Dragon. Welcome to Black Dragon Biker TV, the Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker news you can trust. Today we'll be doing an MC protocol topic we haven't done in a while. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. I got a message a couple days ago, and it was kind of interesting. It read something like, and I'm paraphrasing, but it read something like, "Why would a motorcycle riding association have to sit down and have a meeting with one of the largest 1% motorcycle clubs in the country? Why the hell should we have to do that just to be able to ride our motorcycles?" And I thought to myself, you know what? In the old days, that wouldn't be a thing. But the truth of the matter is that is a thing today. So it dawned on me as I was thinking, as I was answering their question, it dawned on me that there are a lot of stipulations and rules and things of conduct that a lot of people don't know about starting motorcycle clubs up today, especially young kids. It's absolutely different than when I started chapters of the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation, which I would say it's night and day from what folks run into today. So we're going to do the show today on what's it like to start a motorcycle club up in 2025. Some of the things that are different, some of the things that we see today, and hopefully this will be a video that helps some folks out to understand the landscape, which, I have got to admit, MC protocol, like politics, like bylaws, things like that, it's fluid, it changes. And no one has to do anything that they don't want to do. But there are some things that if you want to go about this thing without so much trouble, there are some norms, some things that you can expect, some things you might see, and maybe some things you might be able to get around. And so we'll talk about that this morning with my co-host, Lavish T. How to start a motorcycle club in 2025. So we'll be back in a minute and 7 seconds. And we will, after this brief minute and 7 second long introduction. All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Black Dragon Biker News. He's on YouTube. Black Dragon Biker News. Get yourself educated by his books and you'll learn how to move. Black Dragon Biker News. He covers it all. So click on the screen, hit subscribe to get updated Biker News with MC Protocol. A lot of phonies popped up when this YouTube Biker News craze came about, but the man on this channel is the first to do it and the only one that never sold out. His name is Black Dragon. Started the Navy and hit the sea, revving Uncle Sam. They traded that uniform for the best from the mighty Black Sabbath. Not the band, I'm talking about the mighty Black Sabbath MC. Where he paid his dues and he earned his stripes. From prospect all the way up to national peace. All the copycat creators and the content stealers and haters, there have been many, but there's only one larger than life. Black Biker with a cowboy hat that knows kung fu and says get skinny. Black Dragon Biker News. He's on YouTube. Black Dragon Biker News. Yourself educated by his books and you learn how to move. Black Dragon Biker News. He covers it all. So click on the screen, hit subscribe and get updated Biker News with MC Protocol.
Well, all righty then. What's up, folks? What's up? I'm Black Dragon, and welcome to Black Dragon Biker TV, the Black Dragon Biker News Network, with my co-host, Lavish T. Williams on the phone. What's up, Lavish?
Hey, what's going on? What's happening?
Nothing much. This is Captain Lavish T. Williams, the Undertaker. This guy does so much, man. He's going to school to be an undertaker. He owns a tow truck. He's in a motorcycle. He owns a tow truck company, excuse me. He's on a motorcycle. He's got his own yacht. He's a mover and a shaker out there, and a new and up and coming and up and rising content creator star. That's Lavish T. Williams on the phone right now. Looks like he's handling some business. I'm Black Dragon. It's good to see you guys all this morning. And Lavish, as soon as you get back, okay, here you are. Man, the topic of today, how to start a new motorcycle club in 2025. I thought that would be an interesting topic today based on an email I got, not an email, but I guess it was some sort of messenger, one of those platforms that people reach me on, where a guy asked me, he was kind of upset. He was like, why do I have to go and sit down with a 1% Motorcycle Club Nation? I'm just a guy out here and we got a motorcycle association. What the hell do we have to go and talk to a 1%er for? And I thought about it. I was like, in the old days, that really wouldn't be a thing. But today it is. So I guess it's probably time to have a conversation about what you can expect to see when you're trying to start a motorcycle club chapter or new club somewhere in the country. What's going on these days? What do you see? So I thought that would be an interesting subject. Have you got something to kick in with?
Man, man, how I feel about new motorcycle clubs, man.
How do you feel about new motorcycle clubs?
Join one that's already there, man.
But we got to talk about things the way that they are. That's not happening. New guys that want to come in and start a motorcycle club. These guys right here have not one damn care in the world about joining your old ass motorcycle club. These guys right here, these guys want to start their own motorcycle club. You start your OG started their own motorcycle club. These guys want to start their motorcycle club. So all this, go join one that's already out there, is some shit they don't want to hear, and they ain't doing that.
Hey man, I just said, me personally, I don't know anything about what I would tell somebody that wants to start a motorcycle club, because I'm going to persuade them to join my club.
You're not going to persuade them.
No, I can't help them start one either. So
Why?
We're going to be sitting there. What am I going to say? Hey man, this is what you should do. I have no information on the guy to start a motorcycle club.
You see motorcycle clubs come in your area all the time.
They didn't come through me. They didn't ask me. They just popped up, and I look at them and I shake my head. Like, these guys.
Really?
Yeah.
How many of them have lasted?
That's the thing. Most of them don't.
How many have lasted? Most of them is not all of them. Some of them are lasting.
Man, yeah, lasting the summer, lasting this year. Start off with 10 members. Next season, 3 members. Holding on to a vest just to fit in.
Well, that is the same thing that's going on in real motorcycle clubs that have been around 20 and 30 years, 40 years.
What structure?
They go up and down. Motorcycle clubs go up and down.
I mean, listen, I just feel you got a club. Yes, they go up and down, right? Just like any other corporation or company, business goes up and down, right? Then you get these small guys, and you get these small guys. Hey, I want to go out here, man. And then you get these small guys that want to be bikers, and they end up getting swallowed up by Big Brother that comes along because they're not doing it right, which they should have not even did in the beginning. But that's just me. So I think that this is going to be a very interesting topic because our views might differ.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Our views can differ, but there are acceptable ways to start a new motorcycle club. Whether you want one to start or not, they're starting every day.
Go start somebody's chapter.
Yeah, well, that is how you feel. But what if I don't want to start somebody's damn chapter? I want to start my own motorcycle club. There is a method within MC protocol that allows that to be done. I want you to elaborate on what it is. You know what it is.
No, listen.
You know what it is.
I don't know anything. I don't know anything.
I don't. So difficult, this one.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
You know exactly. You're out there on the set. You know exactly. Hardwire one. Is it Hardwire or was it Glare? Let me look and see. Oh no, it was War Gorilla. War Gorilla says the best way is to go to your dominant and ask them. Go to your dominant or a dominant and ask them if they would like to have a support club. Best way to get it done, and make sure you study motorcycle protocol and MC culture. This is the easiest way to get it done, but not particularly the best way to get it done. If it depends on whether or not you want to be associated with a 1% motorcycle club. But if you go to most 1% motorcycle clubs and present yourself as a support club candidate, you're most likely not going to get turned away. That is a way that it happens today. Oh heck, this is my doctor. Hold on one second.
Dragon's on the phone.
Take over. Take over, man.
Doctor. Yeah, I'm gonna take over, man. We'll go into the comments and read. War Gorilla. He said, "Hey, my club was new once upon a time." Absolutely, every club started at some point in time. War Gorilla. But check this out, man. 50 years ago, you didn't have a city full of 300 clubs with 4 members running around here with colors trying to fit in. That's just my personal opinion. When I joined the motorcycle club, you didn't have everybody that wanted to be in a motorcycle club. When I joined the motorcycle club, you had the people that didn't even want to bother the guys that had vests on, leather vest colors and all that kind of stuff. Now, you got everybody that want to fit in, right? They want to fit in because they think it's the end thing to do. It's cool because this is what's popular right now. It's trending. You got all the cool guys that got different bikes and different styles and all this stuff. They want to fit in somewhere, right? Which is cool. Fit in. But why not fit into something that's already existing and learn that way? Why don't you learn and then if you want to start your own club, start it because you was in a club and you figured out how to pick up on stuff.
No, motorcycle clubs are for life. You don't join a motorcycle club to eventually start your own.
No, what I'm saying is join a club. But then if that doesn't work out, like they club hop anyway, then that just didn't work out for you and you started your own stuff because you thought better.
No. I disagree on your premise. Your premise that all these guys want to join a motorcycle club just because they want to fit in.
So
they
why join a club at all?
Club for the same reasons we wanted to join a motorcycle club.
I was illegal. I was doing crime.
That's why you joined.
That's why I joined, because it was easier to get away with. I could do everything all within the hidden world. I didn't join the club because it was about the bikes and stuff. I was into the bikes and stuff.
Do crime. That's why you joined the club.
Yes. And they know it. Yes.
I don't believe you.
Hey, you don't have to believe me because I'm telling you, I have no reason to lie. Do a background check. My city can verify that. It's no lie. I didn't join the club just to wear colors. I didn't join the club just because I was doing this. I was involved with a lot of bike activities with a lot of bikers. And at that particular time, Nobody had cell phones. Nobody was ratting and telling like they are now. So it was easier to do a lot of stuff. Now you got people that just want to join a bike club just to fit in. Oh yeah, my friends are doing it and it's cool.
I joined the motorcycle club for brotherhood, camaraderie. I liked the patch. Those guys were cool. I wanted to be a part. I was a biker and I wanted to hang out with other bikers that had the same passion for the sport that I had. It wasn't because I wanted to fit in, but it looked like once, when they exposed it to me, I joined a motorcycle club because that motorcycle club reached out to me and asked me to stop by because they knew I was a motorcycle rider and they wanted more members, new energy, new blood. So they invited me to stop by, and I stopped by, and what I saw hooked me. I was blown away. I had never heard of anything. I mean, I'd seen the Hells Angels on TV and stuff like that, but I had never heard of an opportunity to have a brotherhood and be with people. And it was that it wasn't to do crime, it wasn't to fit in, and none of that. And the original folks that started motorcycle clubs started it for the same reason that I joined a motorcycle club, to have a brotherhood, a family, to be wrapped around impassioned individuals who chose this as a lifestyle. And all this other stuff that you're saying is, it's just like you put yourself on a position above somebody because you got in a motorcycle club before they did. But you have new guys that are coming in right now into this world, and they're like, man, I want a motorcycle club of the values that we have and what we want to do and how we want to hang out and how we want to ride. And these are guys I've been friends with for my entire life. I don't know those guys over there in that club. They seem like cool guys, but we've got our own ideas on what we want to do. And that's how young people are throughout the entire world. And so they want to start a motorcycle club. Greg Wolf says there is a protocol in starting an MC, but many don't follow it. And one of the problems that they run into is when they run into a hater like you, who says, they say, well, how do we start a motorcycle club? And you go, man, I ain't got nothing for you. I ain't got nothing for you. Start mine or go to hell. Join mine or go to hell. And they'd be like, you know what? What I'm getting ready to do is my own damn thing. And you call them a pop-up club because you gave them no support in the first place. And that sucks. Cowboy, if I get asked about starting a new club, I tell them to attend a COC and speak to the dominant. If they want me to introduce them to the 1%er, I will, but I won't speak for them. See, that's somebody right there that cares, and they're not as evil as Lavish T. I ain't got nothing for you. Lavish T. Williams of Lavish T. Williams, content creator, Lavish T. Williams show. How do I start a motorcycle club?
I ain't got nothing for you.
I'm just saying, man.
I ain't got nothing for you.
That's just my personal thing, man. That's just my personal thing when it comes to the club, man. And I want to go back to Work Gorilla because I want to speak. He said, hey, it sounds like I joined the club for personal gain. Absolutely not. Before I even thought about joining a motorcycle club, the club that I'm in, I was rocking hard with those guys. And throughout the bike community, I was very known for what I was good at. I just flocked with my club because we were locked in like that. So I went and I joined that particular club because of the way that we rocked together. So, I got to specify because I don't want words to be twisted because it's hard because when you don't want to speak too much because a lot of active stuff is still active. So you can't really speak on things publicly because you don't know how it might interfere with other people. So I just wanted to share that with War Gorilla based off of his comment. But then on the flip side of it, man, it was a lot of stuff in those times when I joined the club where the brotherhood amongst things that was going on in the club world, period, stayed close knitted. And you wanted to be a part of something, right? Because of that. So you rocked with the people that you was closest to, which were the people in my club. But then also within that whole unity, those different clubs around your area, everything was so tight because nothing outside, nothing that happened inside of the bike world actually went outside of the bike world. So the public knew nothing about what was going on. And that was beautiful. And that's what I enjoyed about the motorcycle club world at that particular time, is that I can go over here and no one knew what was going on. No cell phones. You had to know somebody. That I love that era. It's not like that today. You can't do too much of anything because your own guys and these new people are rat on you because they don't understand it.
You would not be the first person that I know that joined the motorcycle club to I happen to know a person that I hate very, very passionately, who joined his motorcycle club to slang dope all over the country. I can't. If I name him, it'll.
Hey, on top of loving, on top of enjoying riding your motorcycle, because I was into that. I'm still into that biker shit, riding that bike. So let me add that in there as well. So all of those things come together.
Slick is slang, slang. I offered him, hey, why don't you come join my club? Oh no, your club don't get down like I get down.
It wasn't fit for him. He had to go where it was fit. It had to go where he was fit.
I said, you know? I said, you're not gonna go join them. Those are bad guys. Yeah, well, John.
Well, I need to be over here with the bad guys.
Those guys are gonna get you nothing but trouble. What? I've got a wonderful family club here. Blah blah blah. Well, John, that's not for me. John.
Hey,
you wouldn't even call me my right name.
It wasn't for you. And listen, let me tell you this about when I joined my club. I had like 3 other clubs that were hurt. Right? And I'm gonna say this. I'm glad that life worked out the way that it worked out, because the way that I am now, I probably wouldn't have been there if I would have joined, the other 3 clubs, one of the other 3 clubs. Because when I joined that club at that particular time, the other clubs were like, man, that club's not a fit for you, man. It's not a fit for you at that time. And I'm going to say one of the clubs I still rock with. I still rock with today. Where K Black at? Where K Black at? Where K? One of the clubs was one of the big 3, man. The big 5, man. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the clubs. But to be honest with you, actually the other 3 clubs were straight outlaw clubs. And they said, it was like, man, you're not going to fit in. That's not the club for you. For the guy that I was in that particular time of my life. Now, on the flip side, with my club that I joined, and I'm glad that I did, because
you became that guy.
Well, not because of the club, but outside of the fun that I had with the fellas that I was with, when it came down to the non-bike riding stuff, I thought that they were kind of like with what I was into. And they kind of broke that structure down. I'm like, oh man, God dog, man. So y'all ain't with this. They like, well, we with it, but we just ain't with it as a club. We can't stop you from doing what you're doing. As time went on, a lot of those guys from different clubs, man, got into, situations, and, being a diehard guy, you probably would have did some of the diehard stuff as well. And my life probably would have, went a different way. So, I mean, things worked out the way they were supposed to work out.
Chairman really says, I call BS. I can't take it no more. I'm out. What? I don't know what he's talking about. But All right, jamming. So, we got Logic on the backstage here. I'm probably go out of my line here. Why did you join the Freemasons, Lavish? Brotherhood, or that they can influence? I don't know about. I won't get into that. That's not what we. You can answer that if you want to.
No, it's I'm not gonna, go feed into everybody's reason, because life is full of different people that make choices based off of what works best for them.
Amen. So, we got Logic on the background here. What's up, Logic?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
You should have had your hat turned the proper way before you. But of course, that's Air Force.
You be wearing your Navy hat, so I thought I'd throw
that's
on.
Air Force, so that's how y'all turn y'all's hats.
Yeah,
I guess y'all's whole situation is screwed up. So it doesn't surprise me if you come on this mofo all unsquared away. But okay, man.
Well, I couldn't tell until I got on the screen and it was crooked. I'm like,
let's just do things the right way. Since we doing things, let's just represent our various branches the correct way. I mean, if you don't come on and branch it up like that. Get mine on right.
What's going on, Lavish?
Oh man, I can't call it, man.
Hey, I was over here from the moment that Black Dragon got on, and he commented, or he read what somebody sent him. I'm sitting over here. Oh, I want to answer. And I think that first question that was asked of you, Black Dragon, was about a motorcycle association. Why should they sit down with people? And I was asked that before I started the motorcycle ministry. And my reply was, if we were going to be mixing and mingling with motorcycle clubs, we should understand and abide by the same policies and protocols that they do. So we decided that when we started our motorcycle ministry, we went through the same steps that a regular motorcycle club went through. And Lavish, to your credit, we were asked by the Diamond, why not join this other one? And we had to give a reason why we won't just join this other ministry. And they accepted that reasoning. And so we went through the same steps, whatever they asked us to do. You got to ride this amount. You got to have this many people. How many bikes do you have? And everything. They saw our bikes. They saw our people. They even asked the question, since we have ladies in our ministry. They said, well, okay, who's married to who? And I didn't understand that question. They said, because most clubs, as they called it, if you have husband and wife as president and vice president, he said they fall apart.
Yeah, they fall apart. I just, and I don't want to stop you, but I just had a conversation not even 2 weeks ago with someone. Same problem, man. Mm-hmm. Everything coming off the wife and the husband, mm-hmm. and the checking account, and he's paying for rooms, and she's taking this, and the club falling apart.
Yeah. And that's so true. I didn't understand why, but then when they said, I said, "Oh, no, this leadership, the president, vice president, sergeant arms, we're not married to them." No, we're not. And they're like, "Okay, that's good. That's good." And so we felt that because I was told the same thing, Black Dragon. You're a motorcycle ministry. You don't have to go through all that. They don't have nothing to do with motorcycle ministries. I said, although we are around motorcycle clubs, we are around riding clubs, we are around OMCs and diamonds. So we need to follow their same procedures. Now, we don't have the same requirements in the ministry, but we still follow the same procedures. And that's all. So that's why I think, to the person that asked you, why should they sit down?
But they really shouldn't have to sit down. They are a motorcycle association, a bunch of guys that get together and ride. They're not a motorcycle club. They're not part of any motorcycle club things. And so there's no reason that they need to go sit down with a 1% motorcycle club nation that is worldwide known, and known to be a criminal organization and called by the Department of Justice an outlaw motorcycle gang. Why the hell would I, working over here at the steel mill, taking my daughter back and forth to soccer practice, need to go sit down with those guys? There's nothing in my life, nothing that puts me in a situation where I need to go sit down, meet, talk with, associate, hang out with, or even have a conversation with guys like that. And here I am being called to some kind of meeting. Black Dragon, why the hell should I have to go? And to be honest, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, you wouldn't even be on the radar. But today it has changed. And motorcycle ministries don't go and sit down with dominance because we should do everything like they do. You're a motorcycle ministry. That's not why you go. You go because if you don't go get that blessing, you're going to have the same shit everybody else has. So let's keep it real. That's what's really going on. And so the landscape has changed. And that landscape is very simply, no longer is it true that because you're not an MC, you don't need a blessing. Now the landscape is truly that just about any motorcycle group that rides together with some sort of affiliation or patch or letter jacket or riding formation is probably going to have to, at some point or another, sit down with a local dominant and have a conversation that provides some sort of blessing for you to be able to ride. And that's the truth of what's going on in starting a motorcycle club in 2025 today. So all of this, we did it because we felt like we should fit in and all of that. That's not quite transparent. You're not getting ready to put a motorcycle ministry out on the street if you don't go sit down at some point and get yourself a blessing. That's the real truth. Now, you may want to do it like everybody else because you are you're messing with those guys and talking to them, and you're in and out and you're around them and you're ministering the gospel to them. And so you want a real experience to understand what they're doing, but light your ass out there with your motorcycle ministry without a blessing, and then give me a call back, because you will be.
There's people in certain areas that will get away with that. Not in my area.
Yeah, I've seen that too. You got some people, it's not saying that, they're less there because they're into the ministry of motorcycle ministries, but you got some areas that they just don't bother them.
Right.
They just, it's not, they just don't bother them. They look at them as good guys. They're not bothering anybody. Just, I guess in their mind, we don't want to mess with the Lord. We don't want to mess with anything they got to do with them, man. Because I've seen that, it's one of those things. They turn a blind eye. It's just, we don't want no problems. We don't mess with those guys. And you got some of these guys in the motorcycle ministry, man, when they come out, man, they come out with a different type of vibe where people don't want to bother those guys. They know they don't mean no harm, man. You got some of the hardcore guys, they don't want to look their way. And then you got some of the guys that from the motorcycle ministries that come up to some of the hardest guys and the rudest guys. And those guys, you'll be surprised, and they'll sit there and actually listen. I've seen it. But to go to what Logic just said, certain areas, you have motorcycle ministry guys and no one comes out. But these guys also don't be out like that. They come out when they have time to ride. They might ride to church. They might ride to a funeral. You get other clubs that the motorcycle ministries reach out to for blessings of the bikes, funeral rides and all that stuff. And, so I'm going to go with what Logic said, depending on what areas you're in. They don't go through the politics of all that stuff.
We're talking about 2025, and we got a lot of new 1 percenters. I call them baby 1 percenters. When you're brand new, we got the baby 1 percenters. They're coming in. They have they're establishing their ground now.
They're the worst.
And
They're the worst.
They're establishing their ground now. And as they establish their ground, us older guys, we was like scratching our head, like, really? That's not MC protocol. Where the hell did you come up with that at? And so some of the things that we're seeing in 2025, here's a brief list of some of the things you're going to see. And one thing is for sure, one of the big things is it used to be that if you were in a riding club and you had RC on your back, you never had to deal with a 1% motorcycle club like Hog Riders of America or Goldwing Riders of America. And so those kinds of big RCs still don't. But if you comport yourself an RC with a 3-piece patch, you're getting ready to talk to a dominant motorcycle club. If you got any kind of, you got a 1-piece patch on your back, if you're flying a patch on your back, and for some cases a patch on your chest, you're going to have to run into these guys. Here are some things that are true, and it's not in every place, every location, certainly not in every country, but this is what we're seeing, and I'm answering questions like this all the time. So your motorcycle ministries, it's been like that for a long time for motorcycle ministries, but your motorcycle ministries, your ride, and a lot of this is a perception I saw somebody write it here. A lot of guys want to join a new motorcycle club because they don't want to prospect. That is an old trope.
No, it's still true. It's still true today. It's still true today.
I think it's a trope. Like everybody that wants to be in a new motorcycle, everybody that wants to start a motorcycle club doesn't not want to prospect. What they want to do is start their own damn motorcycle club. That's what they want to do. Guys chump them off. Oh, you don't want to prospect. No, I want to start my own motorcycle club. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to do. I have a great admiration for founders.
I've heard guys that said to me, man, I don't want to do that prospect proby stuff, man. I want to just start my club because they ain't got to do no work.
Oh, well, they're in it for the rude awakening, because anyone who thinks that you're going to start a motorcycle club and not do no work, you're getting ready to work harder than the easiest thing it is to do is prospect into somebody else's motorcycle club.
I done heard guys say, hey, why? I mean, shoot, only way I want to join the club is if they take me in. I ain't got to do none of this stuff, man. Give me a full patch.
Yeah. Yeah. And how long do their clubs last? Kevin Fitz says not everyone has an option to join an existing club. And Vernon Bolo says it right here. Motorcycle associations look a lot like clubs these days. And that's just exactly what my point was coming into this point of the conversation. A lot, if you comport yourself and you're looking like a motorcycle club, you're riding in formation, you got a president, a vice president, a sergeant at arms. You can call yourself whatever the hell you want to call yourself. We see you as a motorcycle club. And so do the dominants. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to hang out on the motorcycle club set. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of times we wouldn't even see your ass, except you're at all the parties and everything, all comported up, even marching for the trophies, but we're not a motorcycle club. So as motorcycle clubs have changed, and you do have a point, some folks have definitely decided it's an easier path to start a riding association. And one of the reasons is maybe we don't have to deal with the 1%ers and the COCs and blah, 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 because we're not comporting ourselves like that. But you can imagine, best believe that today, whatever you're starting up, if you want to do a couple things, one, be patched up in some kind of way, and two, hang out on the biker set, you are absolutely going to be talking to a dominant in 2025. That's the way that it's going right now.
When we went through, when I first brought the question to the dominant and why, they said because a long time ago, another motorcycle ministry tried to come to this area, but they were coming wrong. They came with the attitude, we don't really need to ask y'all questions, but we'll ask you anyway. And when their patch was perceived, they said, well, you got to change your patch. They said, nah, we ain't changing our patch. And they messed around and went to
That's what the motorcycle
OMC.
Ministry said?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And they went to
in the name of the Lord, they said.
Right. And they went to another OMC in the same area, not thinking that they talked to each other. And then they just got to say, y'all can't open up. They told the motorcycle ministry, you cannot open up in this area. So when I went, I was privy to that. Somebody told me, no, go talk to them. The first thing they say, what's your idea of a patch? I said, 1-piece patch. They said, that's the best answer you could say. Because the other one was coming with a 3-piece, for I don't know how many pieces. They said, well, if you could be a association, ministry, riding club, you need a 1-piece patch. Nah. So
that is typically, a lot of people are so stuck on this 3-piece patch thing. Like this is the thing. And
so it is. So again, if they stuck on that patch, why are you really joining the club? To fit in, to be cool, to look like everybody else.
Well, why do you join anything? To look like you don't join the football team to throw a basketball.
You join the football team.
The football team because you want to be like
because you into football. You're talented in that area.
Yeah, or you want to be, or you want to get talented in that area. And when I was 8, I wasn't talented in that area. But I wanted to be. So I joined the football team. So they're going to teach you, and you're going to learn. So
you can ride without a patch.
That's what I be speaking on.
Why do you need a patch? I'm telling you, that was asked to me. Why you need a patch?
Why do you need one?
Why do you? And I would have said, well, why do you got one?
Listen, check this out. And I tell people this. I tell people this all the time.
You need a patch.
But that's a new club. I mean, that's a new organization.
Yeah, well, you were a new organization too. You were a new organization 35 years ago.
Yeah, well,
35 years ago, it wasn't 35 clubs in the city.
We was all pop-ups at one time.
Yeah.
Warp Jones says, I'm actually on a path to starting a Brotherhood fraternity, something side by side with club culture. But this episode is very insightful for you, boy. I'm in the DFW area.
So am I, Warp Jones. I'm in DFW.
I have a chapter in the DFW. I started a chapter in the DFW.
Yeah, I knew the president.
Oh, you know Big Mix, my boy?
Yeah, or him or the first one when y'all first opened up in the DFW.
There was only the first time we opened up in the DFW, it was Big Mix.
Charlie Boy Parker.
Oh, that's okay. So we had 2. We had one in Fort Worth and one in Dallas. Okay. Yeah, so Charlie Boy, hell of a guy, man. Yeah. Hell of a guy. So you knew Charlie Boy. Yeah, so that was when we Yeah. And hey, man, starting chapters back then was way different than starting chapters now. What are some of the things you see now? One of the big things you see now is it's almost very difficult to start a motorcycle club. Who said it in the very beginning? War Gorilla said it. One of the toughest things to do now is start a motorcycle club and not be a support club. That is a thing that's going around the country. You can't start up here. We're closed. This is a closed area unless you want to put that support cookie on.
Yeah.
I was asked that too. While we sit there, they're like, "Well, Logic, you ain't gonna put a support patch." I said, "How can I be neutral?" He said, "Well, yeah, you're right." I said, "How can I be neutral if I'm walking?" Now, this is before the peace. Now, how can I be neutral and go to some of these other OMC clubhouses if I'm walking in with your support patch on? He said, "Well, you're right. You're right. You're the church. You're right. But they ask those questions.
Well, a lot of times they're afraid of other clubs coming in and then getting sucked up later because dominant 1% diamonds are being really aggressive right now in making or requiring people to patch up wearing those support cookies. The other thing that we're seeing is that in some areas, you got to actually pay to join a council or something, or some sort of coalition. There's a payment that you got to pay to join to get started. That's something else we're seeing in 2025. Actually, we've been seeing it for a while. It's happened to me a number of times. So that sucks. Okay. Blair said, Black Dragon, you play for your local school team. You don't go to one school and go play for another school. And I absolutely agree with you on that. And that's why that whole thing Lavish was saying earlier, join a club later on so you can learn and then start yours.
No. Please do not screw up what I said. Don't screw up what I said.
I had it screwed up then.
No, I said go join an existing club. Figure that stuff out. Be in that club. If that does not work out and you choose to go and want to start another club, you did that, but you learned something while in that club. My goal is not for you to go join another club. Once you join a club, my thing is join an existing club. That's it. But if you're in this existing club, you're learning something, you're learning protocol, you're learning how the structure is going, and you should be wanting to stay in that club. But if for whatever reason that club is not fitting you, you're not adjusting to it, and you say, hey, I want to go start a club, instead of asking, how do you start a club? You got some type of knowledge on a club already from being in a club. Don't get the words confused. I don't want you to go out there and start your own club. I'm not with all that. Join a club that's already there.
Yeah.
So no, don't say Lavish said join a club and then learn and go up. No, that's not what Lavish said.
Lavish said spiritual club.
It sounded like that to me. That's all I was saying.
No. It's join a club that's already existing. But if that club, just for whatever reason, don't work out for you and you want to start a club, let's fix that. You got Pope Gorilla said that's exactly what you said, Lavish. I'm hoping that he said right now what I said, because if he thought I said something different, I'm correcting that, because that's not what I said. And if I said it's not what I meant. I'm not into people starting these new clubs, but that's my own personal opinion.
Pope James said y'all are all contradicting yourselves left and right. Just stop it. If you've never made a club or opened the chapter, you have no opinion on this subject. Well, I've opened 30 or 40 chapters, so I think I got, or maybe even more than that. So I got
I just opened mine.
Hell of a lot of experience doing it. But what I have not done is I have not started a motorcycle club from scratch. I said earlier, I have a hell of an admiration for founders, like the founder of the mighty Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation, Paul Perry. I have nothing but respect for the father. These are guys that made it up out of their minds and actually made it happen, gave me a platform to go start chapters up all across the United States of America. But I haven't started a brand new motorcycle club from scratch. That's got to be hell. I have absolutely advised many brand new motorcycle clubs on how to start up. Over 40 or 50 or 60, some huge number that I have coached through the entire process. So I think I could start a brand new motorcycle club. A lot better than a lot of folks that I've seen out there. But I've written books about it, so people have used that to get started. So I think I have an opinion on the subject that is informed, but I don't see how we're contradicting ourselves left and right. Each person has their own feelings about it, and so we're talking about people's feelings about it. But some of the things that we're seeing in 2025, how do you start a motorcycle club up? Well, my first advice, so we've talked about why you shouldn't and go join another one and blah, blah, blah. My first piece of advice is don't try to recruit off the set. That is one of the craziest things. When you start a motorcycle club up, the very first thing you should do is start the motorcycle club up. Later on, you go get the permission and all that. What you need to have is your guys together, your motorcycles together, your like you said, you don't have to have a patch for all that, but you do need to have your brotherhood put together. Going to somebody saying, "Can I start a motorcycle club?" The answer is going to always be no. You're going to always run into Lavish T. Williams. You're going to always run into the 1%er that says, I mean, who goes? People that have done this, they know this. When you go, "Hey, man, we want to start a new motorcycle club up. Can we?" Most of the time, the answer is going to be hell no.
Mm-hmm.
Go join a club that already exists. But when you already have your club and your brothers formed, and you show up at the table 10 deep with your bylaws in your hand and your design in your mind and your design written out on paper, and you show up at that meeting with your shit together, you are 100% more inclined to get what you want.
Yeah.
I see the hate in Lavish's eye right now. He just can't believe. Hardware said, "I've done all the above, made mistakes too, tried to start a club unsuccessfully. Then again, been in an AMA club, been in support clubs, now in one of the big four." So he's been from the bottom floor up. He's been
Right.
He's been through all the hell. He was even in an AMA club.
Can I answer one of his other? I want to answer one of Hardwire's other comments he said earlier when he was talking about how people join motorcycle ministries to try to escape from, all the, and part of my education on my journey. I got that. People say, people just join motorcycle ministries so they won't follow protocol. They try. We don't like that. And I got that. And during my 10-year education, before we started, I got that. And when I went into that meeting,
what Hardwire is talking about mostly is you come into this thing as a motorcycle ministry, so you didn't have to go through the hell everybody else went through. And then when we see you out there, we see a motorcycle club. Y'all as drunk as everybody, hollering at the same strippers everybody's hollering at the stripper pole with dollars in bills in your mouth as the stripper comes and takes them out with her body, the dollars from your mouth. You guys, what? Those are Christians? They're supposed to be. That guy's just as drunk. There's a guy over there in the corner shooting a needle. There's a guy over there taking a line off of a stripper's ass. This is the motorcycle ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say I had those kind of experiences with the motorcycle ministry people that I know, man. I can't say. And I'll be the first to say if I did, man, because the guys that I know in the motorcycle ministries that I personally know, that I see, that I've been around, I be really sitting there watching and waiting and seeing if I can get them to do something, man. Come on, man, you ain't gonna have a drink, man. Yeah. And I don't even drink, but I'm trying to have a drink. You ain't have it,
so you can say,
yeah. They don't do it, but this is what I will say, man. And I respect these guys, man. And they respect me. A lot of the ones that I personally know are chaplains. They're chaplains. With me being dealing with the city and doing the whole police commissioner thing, the chaplains that come out to all these different crimes and they pray and everything, a lot of those chaplains ride motorcycles as well. Mm-hmm. And they also know a lot of bikers, and they want to support a lot of the bikers, but at the same time, they got two things that they got to always be mindful of. They're a chaplain for the city. They got to, police chaplain at that. And a lot of them are pastors of their church. So they want to come out and hang out with a lot of us bikers, but they don't. So what they will do, man, if we have certain events, they might show up, but they're going to get there early and they're going to leave. I don't look at them different or anything like that because I know what they're doing. I know what they're about. You got some of them, they won't come to a motorcycle club, but if a motorcycle club is throwing an event at a local hall or something, they'll come out You know, they'll come, they might bless the food, they might leave. So we don't judge them guys, man. And they really, most of them publicly keep their word, man. They about what they preach. Now I can't say what they do in their private life when they're not around, but they will come out.
Can
to
black
certain
MCs
gatherings.
support white 1% clubs in America? Yes, they can. And there are white MCs that support black 1% clubs in America. This does happen in all the time. And white 1% dominance bless black 1% dominance and vice versa. It's all going on. Long story short, don't do it. Hook up with some peeps in your area, and you could have a perfect life like me. Laughing my behind off. This life is not for everyone, says Fred.
I completely agree. And I tell people that, and I'm only speaking based off my experience from being in a club. The things that were going on when I joined the club versus what's going on now is so peaceful being an independent rider. No rules, no dues. You come out and you enjoy everybody, and everybody's pretty much more welcoming than they were 20 years ago, 25 years ago. So you still can have a good time, no judgment, still hang out with everybody, different clubs, man, and have the same fun without wearing a set of colors on your back.
Boy, Big Lock is about to get his ass put in timeout again. He always comes on here with this silly shit, man. Oh, my goodness. Hey, man, don't be dropping club names and all that kind of stuff, and you piss people off. I don't know why you keep doing this, kid, but I'm block your ass again. Obi Joe, I actually preach for one of his churches, Set Free Church. I got nothing but okay. I don't know what's going on there. You are correct. Trucking with a, but that is okay. You guys are talking to each other, and fussing at each other. Don't fuss at each other. If I see you guys fussing, I'm just block y'all's ass. So some of the things that you're going to see right now, what's going on. So first thing I say is put your brotherhood together under the cover of darkness. You don't need to be out on the set to be a biker club. I think that people like Lavish get turned off because you're running out on the set and you don't know anything about the set. But you don't have any brotherhood. What you have is a bunch of guys that want to get together and go bar hop and all this kind of stuff, run women, have the cuts on, and everybody sees that as disingenuous. And so that's why you get people like Lavish that are turned absolutely off when they see a new club trying to get started or this, that, and the other. I say put your brotherhood together, learn each other, ride together, hang out together, be together, and form a bond and a brotherhood. Ride forever, ride for a long time together, hanging out, learning how to be a brotherhood strong with one another. See, you don't have to have any kind of affiliation with the biker set to be a brotherhood somewhere. I run into clubs all the time in East Appalachia or somewhere where there's like no motorcycle clubs around for 100 miles. And these guys have a brotherhood. They ain't on the set. There ain't no set around them. One guy said not everybody has the opportunity to join an existing motorcycle club, especially if there are no motorcycle clubs in your area. Then you put one together. But after you've got it together, and then you say, okay, well, let's put some bylaws together. Let's figure out what our patch is going to be. Now you go to the COC or the dominant. You're not one guy walking around talking about, I want to start a motorcycle club. You look crazy. Well, you come in there with all your brothers and everything, you together, you go sit down. Now people know you're serious. And now they're going to talk to you. Hey, well, these are our bylaws we put together. There's plenty of examples of bylaws on the internet anymore. You don't have to go sit down with another motorcycle club to figure out bylaws. There's all kinds of examples of bylaws out there. There's all kinds of videos now. There's all kinds of people like me and others that are doing these kinds of subjects. So you can learn quite a bit. There's books you can read. There's websites you can read. Websites that have been around since like 2009. There's one website called RVC, something like that. I can't remember the name of it. But if you send me an email, I will definitely send you to that website, which has been talking about how to start a motorcycle club and riding clubs. It's been around since like 2008 out there for you to learn. Then you approach a dominant motorcycle club or a COC, and you start having those conversations. You're not going to get a dominant motorcycle club to answer your email. Hey, man, I've been emailing the Outlaws, and they won't return my email.
Man, here go my thing, man. Everybody want to join these motorcycle clubs, man. What happens when the shit hit the fan, man? You know what I'm saying? That's what I be really speaking about, man. The flip side of when everything is not all parties and smiles, man. These guys disappear and they run. And all of these clubs around here done had that.
Why would the shit hit the fan if you've done everything the right way?
Listen, you can do everything the right way. I'm going to tell you what a guy told me in Memphis, man, about problems in the motorcycle club. You're going to have two major problems. It's going to be money and pussy. That fucks up a club. Those two things. So when you say what kind of problems come, those are the problems that come, right? And they linger in the other things. Now, how it's handled could differ. But I personally have been in situations with clubs, my club / watching other clubs, and when things go bad, man, and the party and the fun is not happening, and it's time to suit up and boot up, where the Brotherhood at? And they running.
And that takes that happens in real clubs. That happens in clubs that have been around forever.
Exactly, right?
Like the first time something happens, you see like 43% of your membership drop off.
Oh, listen. Let me tell
if
you
not more.
When you join those clubs, you know what you're signing up for. When you start these new clubs, they starting them because it's like, oh man, we went to this one party out of town. There was a whole bunch of women and we had all these bikes and blah, blah, blah. And then when the problems come, guys, oh man, I ain't signing up for all this stuff, man. I ain't about to risk my freedom for this.
That's our job. That's what we do. We teach them. We teach them. Yeah, we expose them to this. All these books I've written, these guys, they write me, oh my God, man, we changed the way we run our club because of the books that you've written. So yeah, we want to help benefit the set, so we teach them. They got to be taught. You got taught. Somebody taught you. You came in greedy, trying to slang whatever.
Man, let me tell you, man. It took me
and now
like
you're a different person.
No. It took me 3 years to even wear a set of colors, man. Because I wasn't with that whole color thing at first. Well, I'm like, I ain't about to do all this club stuff, man. I hung around. It took me 3 years to keep being asked, man. Come on, man. When you want to join the club? When you want to join the club, man? I ain't about to be doing all that shit, man. Walking around here wearing this vest. I ain't about to be doing that. It took me 3 years before I joined my club. I joined my club on the spot. The day that the president asked me at the club, the last time before I said, all right, man, come on, man. It was a party night right there. And I ain't gonna say surrounded because I say that, then it sound like I was pressed. No, I was sitting there and the guy's like, man, you here every night. You here. What's the problem? You might as well. You're doing everything that we doing. Every time we move, you right there. I'm like, man, this shit ain't for me, man. The club, man. I'm a solo guy, man. All right, man. Come on, man. Let's go. That's how that worked. That's how that went. All right, man. See you in club meeting. All right, cool. What day is club meeting?
The pod has a question. So a question to you boys in the chat: when starting something similar to a club, mostly a charitable type of organization based for men to find help in North Texas, what would be the way to do it? Well, if you guys are going to be on motorcycles and you're going to be similar to a motorcycle club, and that's what this video was about today, is you're going to be going to a dominant 1% motorcycle club or a COC. If you're there in Texas, you're going to be going to a COC, and you're going to present yourself and get accepted onto the biker set. If you're going to be riding motorcycles and be patched up and hanging around motorcycle club events. No longer is there this thing, motorcycle association, that gets to hang around biker clubs on the biker club set without being blessed, without a dominant knowing who you are, where you come from, what your intentions are, and what it is that you're trying to do. And they're going to say, yeah, you can hang out, or no, you can't. And then it's going to be up to you from there as to what you're going to do. But yeah, you're going to have that uncomfortable conversation at a gas station, and you're going to be called to a meeting somewhere. This is just exactly what has happened to that person that asked me about it. And some kind of way, someone was like, hey, you guys are riding around here. You're formed up. We need to see you. We need to talk to you and find out what's going on and let you know whether you're going to be invited to hang out on our biker set or not. And that is the real thing that's going on in 2025.
Yeah.
When my fellow was thinking about joining it, et cetera, it was at Black Dragon Biker TV 7 years ago. He watched all the videos so he knew what to expect and what he wanted. Massive love to Black Dragon. Aww. You know, she didn't say massive love to Lavish T, Hater Williams of New Motorcycle.
hey, Black Dragon, to add on to what you said to the pod, here in this area, because I asked him what area he's in. Here in our area, that's what the dominance and the local MCs are trying to do. They're trying to get everybody under the understanding, if you're going to be on the set, and I don't know what side he's on, but if you're going to be on the set, then at least talk to us. You got to have this conversation, because exactly what you said, you'll pull up at the Quick Trip with your whole crew and they'll be like, well, who are these guys? You know?
Now, So Loud says he's in a brotherhood of 30 years. Brothers that would definitely have your back in any situation. We have never worn a patch. And man, that's out there. Motorcycle clubs are not for everyone. Mm-hmm. I remember there was this club for a while. I remember I saw this club, No Rules, No Dues MC. Mm-hmm. I was like, how the hell do they pull that off? No rules? That's a damn lie. No organization has no rules. It probably should have been none of the bullshit rules, none of the bullshit dues MC. But hey, I don't know how they pulled that off. I've always wanted to ask one, how are you in a club with no rules? So we can just everybody run after everybody's girl. There's no rules. We can just go out and get on your brother's motorcycle and ride without permission. There's no rules. I don't know how that works, but it's a good idea. Motorcycle clubs are not for everybody. Traditional MCs not for everybody. 1% MCs not for everybody. Outlaw MCs are not for everybody. There's a thing that and if those are not for everybody, then legitimate up and running MCs that you could go join are not for everybody either. I want my own, and I'm going to start my own. How do I get to do it? An MC protocol in every city and every state has an allowance for new clubs. And the bottom line is if you stop growing, you start dying. So the minute that we stop new clubs from coming in, period, because some of these old clubs are going to die out. Some of these old dudes ain't trying to keep their clubs going forever. They're not good at recruiting, and they're not good at keeping new people. A lot of these new guys come in and they be like, what kind of bullshit are you on?
Then you got so many clubs that every night is 7 bike clubs throwing a party. 10 different clubs throwing a party on the same day. You got an anniversary party, 3 different people having a party on that Saturday.
Rampage says, I have family members that are in a known 1% club. I love to ride, but when they invite me to the club, I get intimidated. But I love the environment. What should I do? You should
enjoy the environment. Go over there and enjoy it.
You should hang around.
That's exactly what you should do. You got family in there. You don't have nothing to worry about, and just pay attention to the movements. You'll catch on real quick.
Yeah, you should hang around.
That's it, man. You'll catch on real quick.
You should go enjoy the environment. But that doesn't mean you need to join or anything like that. Just go enjoy the environment. And
hang out, have fun, man. You'll pick up some stuff. You'll pay attention. You'll learn some stuff. And it's not like the stereotypical thing. You walk in here and they pulling out a bull horse saying, "Ooh, we got a civilian walking through the door wearing a blue jacket."
The outlaw preacher points out I founded a club, and some clubs get away with not getting a blessing for a long time. Yeah, Outlaw Preacher does. He's been here to the Dragon's Lair. This is such a cool dude, the Outlaw Preacher. You got to check him out on Facebook. He's got a huge following over there. He does great stuff. He said, I founded a club, and some clubs get away with not getting a blessing for a long time, especially if they are in a secluded area. But eventually a dominant will roll through and find them, or you'll be at a gas pump when you're traveling or something like that. And what I tell people that say, well, there's no dominance around me. What I tell those people is there's a dominant in your state. So you need to find them and get that blessing, because it's very ugly when you meet up at the gas station. To what you were saying, Lavish, yeah, sometimes because there are so many clubs, 10 clubs do have a party.
That causes problems and friction amongst clubs in the city. And I can't speak on everywhere else. I'll just speak on my personal experience of what I see that's going on in my area.
Isn't that why you got a calendar, Lavish?
Yeah, and that's the thing. You got the calendars, and you got frustrations going because you go look at the calendar and you say this Monday on the 1st, oh, y'all doing this. Okay, well, let's change it to the 2nd Monday. And now you got these other guys like, hold on, that's my date. And then you say, well, we're going to switch it to this Friday. And now you got the Friday people. And then it becomes, man, dog, how can we all come together to make it work out for everybody? And it doesn't, because you got a freaking ton of clubs out here now, when before it wasn't as many. And then even before that, everybody had a certain day. You might have 2 people that had that day.
Well,
somebody on the east side.
You can only have 7 clubs in the city. 7 days, 7 clubs. That ain't working.
That ain't working. But having 60 clubs
in Atlanta, Georgia. In Atlanta, there are 400. Back when the Georgia Council was formed in 2009, there were 373 clubs in the city of Atlanta and 251 social clubs.
Wow.
Ain't nobody tripping on a day. That was on the black set. I don't even know how many clubs were on the white set. That was the black set. There are 400 clubs in Atlanta right now. We're not even talking about out of Atlanta or whatever the case may be. When I was in San Diego with the Black Sabbath, there was like 8 clubs. Now there might be 100. Nobody's tripping on what day. Your club should be able to hold down its day, because it supports who you support will support you. I've seen my
so
club.
You say who supports you, right? So now you got bikers. You got let's say the Black Sabbath. The Black Sabbath has got to support these clubs that support them. It's 4 clubs that the Black Sabbath support. Now y'all got to move around from this club, pay to get in this club, go to that club, pay to get in this club, go to that club, pay to get in this club, go to this club, pay to get in this club, all in one night, because they all support you. Man, these clubs be irritated and frustrated with that.
What I used to see President Big Meats do down in Macon was
send certain people.
Yes,
send certain people.
He'd send 4 over there, 5 over there, 3 over there, 2 over there, or 5 to each club. I would watch this guy support clubs 2 hours away, all the way north to Atlanta, 2 hours away, sending a group to each club. Hey, that's support. That's support. If you want to support the set, and I often say Brotherhood is not particularly required to support the set. You can have a Brotherhood. What does a motorcycle club do up in the North Georgia mountains? They're not riding down to Atlanta to support everybody. They got their own club. They hang out up there. They might get down from time to time, but your Brotherhood is inside the club. Too many of you guys got set support and hanging out mixed up with emceeing and Brotherhood. They're not the same thing. Brotherhood is you riding and hanging out and camping. When was the last time y'all camped out anywhere? When was the last time?
Shit, man. I'm gonna say, man, it's been. I'm gonna say for me, my club, shit, it's been about over 10 years.
Yeah, we used to go to the Salton Sea and hang out there by that polluted ass body of water, and we would have motorcycle races and hang out and party. The women would all get together. We'd have a caravan 2 miles long of just Black Sabbath. Go to the Salton Sea, hang out, party, race. Other clubs would come hang out with us. Clubs that support you and hang out. Hey, man, we're going to go hang out for the weekend. But when it got turned into money, now it's a field meet. And it costs you $45 to come, and it costs you $200 to bring your camper. That's when we had these big roundups and stuff like that. But in the early days, a field meet was you and a few clubs that you hung out with, you and your club. What, like, I've often told people, oh, my club can't get along. We can't get. When was the last time you've been on a ride together? Ride 100 miles to a rest stop and camp out there overnight. Ride 100 miles to a campground. Ride 100 miles out to an open field near a lake. This is what motorcycle clubbing used to be. Now it's, I've said it. MCs are not MCs anymore. They're CMEs. They're not MCs. They're CMEs.
I didn't camp out at the gas station. At the truck stop. I slept while they was woke. They slept while I was woke. We both slept together, trying to stay open, hoping nobody came up on us.
That's a ride. That's a ride, brother. We done went
and tried to, make it, and instead we just like, man, you know what? Next time we get every fuel stop, we sat there after we got fuel and we nodded off at the gas station for about 30 minutes. And all right, you ready?
Yeah,
give me 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes. Give 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah, somebody says, Black Dragon, what is your opinion on law enforcement motorcycle clubs we call LEMCs? My opinion is they do their thing. I don't have any hatred for law enforcement motorcycle clubs. I don't have hatred for law enforcement. I have hatred for jackbooted thugs that act like they're law enforcement and act under the color of authority. But I often tell people that hate cops so bad. If a brother dies in your clubhouse, do you call the police to come take him? Where's your forensic team? Where's your forensic examiner? We need cops to do things. Like, somebody gets shot outside your motorcycle club and is laying out there. You're not going to call the cops to come get him, or are you going to pick him up and now Lavish?
No, I'm laughing because listen. I don't want to. Listen. This is. I don't want to go into too much of stuff, but I want to tell you something. It's funny, but it's not funny. But it's funny because a situation like that happened, and they look, and they say, well, Lavish, what to do? What to do? I don't want to go into that, but shit, motherfucker down the street to another address.
Drag that motherfucker out of here.
Man, are you serious? Yeah, man, ain't no motherfucker down. Don't get him down to the other address, man, down the street.
Somebody gonna call them. It don't have to be us. But he can't stay here.
He can't stay here.
He can't stay here. Biker News Canada says, when I was in 1% Club, we were the only club in our town, full stop. Even a bait couldn't wear patches. Now there are all sorts of RCs and Legion riders and MMs and riding groups. Yeah, that's another thing that 1%ers are finding hard to deal with. Biker News Canada was in one of the top 1%er motorcycle clubs in the world. But even they're having a hard time keeping the city free. These folks are coming in. You can't stop them. What, you gonna kill them all? You can't stop them. So you're gonna have to come up with some kind of way that they can get in and be a confirmed MC. You know, you got to do something. Just stop it. You guys are contradicting yourselves, sounding like a whole bunch of me C's instead of a we MC up here. Pope James is mad at us. Pope
I
James,
think he's
what are you
talking
mad at,
about
man?
I think he was talking about people in the chat.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking
I've,
that.
I've seen too much and listened to a lot of old timers. That's why I've joined a 1% club.
That's why I've never joined.
I never joined a 1% club. Thank you. What's a Christian motorcycle rally? It started at 10 a.m. in the morning. At 8 p.m., all the kids left, and they actually bought out some strippers.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, Christians want to see some booty too.
Oh, my goodness.
I see a lot of Christians running around, and it ain't like they're not doing it. The Christians be having the biggest families. That dude, man.
They do be having 7, 8
over
kids. Yeah, they be getting it in.
Jamie Rooney, one thing Lavish ain't gonna do is lie about nothing. Yeah, tell the truth.
Yeah, I mean, we live in a world and everything can be researched and fact checked, man.
Everything.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even people.
And people will call you out on lives, man. Real quick, man.
And they'll call you out on live too.
They will.
Why are MMs accepted and not law enforcement clubs? Oh man, because MMs can't arrest anybody. That's why. If an MM could arrest people, it wouldn't be accepted either. If you have arrest powers, it's just been since 1947 and the Hollister riot, motorcycle clubs and police don't get along. That's why they have law enforcement motorcycle clubs. Now, this is my doctor again. Hold on. Dang.
Understand that question.
Take over.
I don't know. You gotta join. Yeah. Logic. So anyhow, man, based off the topic, man, I just feel the way that I feel, man. Just gotta see so much stuff, man, and a lot of the stuff, like when you share these stories, some of the stuff don't sound like it makes sense. Some of the stuff makes sense. Some of the people that was there and involved, they can attest to the things, man. I seen friendships be broken with people wanting to start motorcycle clubs up, man, because they meet these new people, things change. I done seen people start these. I done seen my friends, some of them, start motorcycle clubs and had a rude awakening, man, and they didn't understand why I didn't intervene. And I'm like, man, that's club politics, man. That's club politics, man. I ain't got nothing to do with that, because now it's not Lavish, helping a friend. That's my club. If I do something, I'm acting upon my club. I done seen guys get their colors snatched. I done seen the big brothers literally cut their patches off in front of people, man. And it ain't, I just seen a lot of stuff, man, and I'm sure other people might have seen even more stuff, because I see, like, Logic, where you at in Texas, it's a whole different ball game than where it's at here. So the little stuff that I talk about here, I done heard horrible stories of interactions there, man. So every place is different, man. But I done seen that stuff, man, and it's been good people. I done seen people that want to start clubs up, and then they clubs get tossed up, and now they are part of that dominant club now. It was, hey man, this is what you gonna do, man. You gonna join us, or it's gonna be some problems.
Tasha in Portugal says, just want to ask Logic opinion on this. Scaling down clubs to keep short numbers could be a solution to be out of the problems and in with pure joy, love, and riding in life. What do you think about that?
Well, you can keep small numbers. That doesn't mean you're not going to have issues. That doesn't mean you're not. I mean, you can have just your normal 6 people and still run into issues. But the thing about, even in our organization, everybody wants to grow. Everybody wants to have a good number so they can spread. you know,
Yeah,
so they
that's
can
true.
join and start other chapters otherwhere to make their brand grow. But keeping small numbers and say, okay, we're gonna stay to 6. Because I've heard of motorcycle clubs on the West Coast, maybe even on the East Coast. They only got one chapter. They got one chapter. That doesn't mean they don't have issues. You know.
Calvin says, is Red Rum a 1% club because they popped up in my area with unknown guys and a bunch of diamonds? So if that diamond doesn't have a 1% in it, it's not a 1% diamond. I think Red Run wears a 13.5 diamond. I don't know if they wear a 1% or not. I don't think I've ever seen them with a 1% diamond, but that diamond indicates an outlaw club. So you don't have to be a 1%er to have a diamond. There are outlaw clubs that wear diamonds. And we can get into the education of what an outlaw club actually is. So I doubt that they just popped up in your area. I'm sure that Red Rum is a pretty squared away club, and they did what they needed to do to come into that area without popping up. But as an outlaw motorcycle club, what they did may appear like they popped up to you. I hate that they want to be us until it's time to be us, and then they want to pull out that badge the way they want to look like us, and they want to talk like us, and they want to act like us. But when things get tough, they pull out that badge. I understand, and that is the anger, and that is the thing that 1% clubs have with LEMCs. LEMCs act a whole lot like 1% or outlaw clubs in that they don't get permission to go into areas. They just go into them by themselves. They put on state rockers, and some even have patches that look like diamonds, and they act and carry themselves like 1% Motorcycle Club Nation would. They're not getting no permission to come in, no nothing like that, not getting no blessings, that sort of thing. And some of them do carry on, like they have barroom brawls and fights, and they've been charged with attacking people in other motorcycle clubs and all that kind of shit. And at the end of the day, having that badge will get you out of a lot of stuff, and that is what angers 1% motorcycle clubs about LEMCs. But when you ask Black Dragon, how do you feel about an LEMC? I'm not in a 1% club. I don't have those same issues. So, but if a LEMC jumped on my club and we had to fight them, and then at the end of the fight, when the cops come in, they pull out their badges and we get arrested and they don't, that is part and parcel to, yeah, we don't like those mofos. So we haven't had that situation. I respect all motorcycle clubs because I run a motorcycle club education channel. But if there was for some reason that that I had the same kind of experience, I would feel the same way that those guys do. Black Dragon, me and my old lady camp out of the tour pack on weekend trips when I'm out with the club. Nothing else like it. OB Joe, see, you're real. OB Joe is real. We have to get Lavish to do some real biking. He always wants to talk to me about being a biker, but that's what happens when you camp out and you're in the great wheat plains of the fruited plains of America. America, God shed his grace on me.
Man, that old
and
ass
crown
picture.
my good with
Man, that picture old.
From sea to shining sea. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, thank you all. Thank you. My doctor just called, and she wants to have a phone meeting with me now, so I've got to get the hell out of here.
You got to get out of here, man.
You got to go.
Logic, I got to get you on the Lavish podcast, man.
Don't be trying to take my guess, man. Always trying to, don't take,
Sound like Black Dragon's a hater, man. Anyhow, man. Sound like Black Dragon's a hater.
I'm logging in right now, Doc.
I gotta get you. I'm
logging in right now.
We gotta have a great conversation, man, about some cool stuff, man.
I'll be honored, brother.
Yeah,
be my honor.
I want to definitely line that up. Yo.
Well, you got my inbox, though. You got my phone number.
Look at Black Dragon's face. Look at his face.
He's talking to
right.
his dog.
Sitting there in disbelief. What? They just cleared me? I can ride a motorcycle, but I really don't want to. Holy shucks. Let me put this on the mute because now I don't have a medical excuse. Oh, I can't ride my bike.
Oh, wow.
Look at him making gestures. Goodness gracious.
Muted you out. I don't want to hear all that. I'm on the phone with my doctor.
I'm on the phone with my doctor. Lavish, go on with your games, man. We don't want to hear all that stuff, man.
All right. Then fine. You'll send me the
you want me to hear the last part.
Mail, and I'll know to connect with the video. Okay. So
he needs a 2-finger check-in again.
I don't know why the VA is calling me over and over again this morning, but they are.
They approved your clearance, man, to get on that motorcycle.
Look what I got in the mail.
The VA? Oh,
yeah, I got an appointment next week.
Yeah.
Shucks, man.
And you know why you answer the VA? Because if you don't answer their ass, you won't hear back from them for 2 months.
Yeah.
So when the VA calls, you drop everything and you answer that damn phone. Period.
Yes.
It's called socialized medicine. And socialized medicine, they got too many people to see, and you get in that system and you roll on time. They don't do that late shit. I missed an appointment, any of that, bro. You get that appointment. It's the thing that sucks about the VA. Hey, if the waste, fraud, and abuse team, the Doge team, is going to come in and oh damn, there they are again. That's my doctor. I got to roll. Okay.
All right, man. I will check you out, man.
See you later.
I'm logging in right now.
All right.
No, I have the link. I'm logging. Okay. I'm coming in right now. Hey man, that's my doc. Oh, everybody jumped off. Okay, that's my doctor. I gotta go. I will be back in touch with you guys first thing in the morning. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny. And I'm just gonna run this thing out and go get on my doctor's appointment. Love you all. Thank you much. And see you on Tuesday nights here at the Dragon's Lair. I'm out. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.
Get Black Dragon's first book, The Prospect's Bible, to learn how to join a motorcycle club. It has been an Amazon #1 bestseller for the past 7 years and is required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. This book is a must-have for new people venturing onto the motorcycle club set. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for service to the motorcycle club nation and show you how to qualify a motorcycle club to be worthy of your service. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and for order at your local bookstore. Get your autographed copy at blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club prospect you can be. Get the book.